Welcome to Tracing Your Family Roots. I'm Chuck Mason, and this is Janelle Blue. Janelle is the president of the Mount Vernon Genealogical Society and going to be my co-host. But today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk between the two of us, and the topic we've decided on is education. There's so much out there compared to when I got started in genealogy back in 1989. We're going to talk about a number of different educational opportunities. We're going to mention websites, and if you go to our website, we will have all of the websites or links to all of the websites for you to go and find the things we're talking about, rather than trying to put websites down at the bottom of the screen. One of the big places that I go looking for things when I am looking for information on a category is Cindy's List, which we're going to show you Cindy's homepage here in a second. Cindy's, there it is. This is the homepage, and this is actually live, so you'll see things moving. Up the arrows there, the top one, if you click on that particular category or arrow, it's for categories, that will take you to a list of categories, and also across the top you see the letters of the alphabet. Rather than scrolling down, if you go to E for Education and click on that, there are all kinds of programs that are educational on there. The thing I tell people with Cindy's List is you start clicking, and a couple hours later it's like, what did I first start looking for? So what we want to talk about today is, first of all, local educational opportunities. Hopefully, we know that our viewers here in the Washington, D.C. area have the advantage of having both the Mount Vernon and the Fairfax Society, and there are societies over in Maryland. But if you are living outside of the area, go and see what is available for your local area, because there are genealogical societies out there. And Janelle, do you want to talk about Mount Vernon Society?
Yes, so we have a variety of things for our members, and of course guests are welcome too. First of all, we meet once a month, and we have a speaker every month that has some sort of genealogy discussion, whether it is a methodology or whether it's a history related. But it's always a very interesting and usually very educational kind of meeting. In addition, we have special interest groups, we have training and education. Every month there are at least 3 or 4 different classes going on that you can sign up for. We have a research center so that if our members want to go to the research center and use the computers or to get help, there are volunteers available every day, 4 days a week that it's open, to help them get started and to help them find what they're looking for. We don't solve the genealogy problem for anyone, but we certainly help direct you in the right direction.
And also you have education classes.
We do.
And you have something coming up in March that is an educational opportunity.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. Might as well advertise it. We may have people who might want to sign up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You want to tell us what's coming in March?
The
lock-in?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking... Absolutely. So once a year we have a lock-in. We call that, many people have said, oh, that sounds kind of ominous, but the location that we're at is not open on Saturdays, and so we have it one Saturday a year where everyone comes in, and the reason it's a lock-in is because you can come in, but if you leave, you can't come back. So that's the whole thing. And during that time, we have different speakers who talk about different genealogical issues, some methodology, some discussing how to research on the different websites to maximize the benefit of that. And it's usually about most of the day, and then people bring their lunch, and then we have some afternoon classes, and it's always very well attended, and something that any genealogist would want to consider doing.
And it's relatively inexpensive
It
also.
It is.
So.
Very inexpensive.
And of course, we also have the Fairfax Genealogical Society, and Fairfax is the older of the two societies. So again, they have monthly meeting programs, and the thing that I like to point out to people with both societies is that the programs, although we are Mount Vernon and Fairfax, and we're here in Virginia, the majority of the members don't have Fairfax or Virginia ancestors, and the programs are not aimed at just Fairfax County or Virginia. They're, for the most part, a wide variety. Yes, we have something related to Fairfax or Virginia or Alexandria or Arlington periodically, but most of them are more general. So people can get a lot if their ancestors were from Texas like yours, or New Jersey, or Pennsylvania like mine. So, and Fairfax programs are only during the school year, so they're only September to May. They offer an education class the day after the monthly meeting, again, a general topic. Both the two societies have the special interest groups. Some of them are shared between
Yes, they are.
Mount Vernon and Fairfax, and some of them are only Fairfax, and some of them are, for example, the methodology one. Fairfax has a methodology, but Mount Vernon has a methodology, two different groups. And then Fairfax does two big educational events. They do the fall conference, which is one single speaker, or the fall fair as they call it. One single speaker and 3 lectures, usually the end of October. And then depending on when spring break and Easter are for the kids, we do the spring conference. So it's usually late March, early April. And with that, they have 12 tracks of lectures. So you have a variety of things that you can pick up and take advantage of. Price is a little more for either of those than the lock-in at Mount Vernon, but it's
a much broader,
also,
it's longer, and
yeah.
it's very informative. Some of our special special interest groups, for instance, we have a German special interest group. We have one where we're doing research in Washington, D.C. That's Chuck is leading that, actually. And then we have one on just getting acquainted with some of the other libraries. We have a family history writing special interest group. And so one is specializing in Connecticut resources. So there's all sorts of interests that we try to cover.
And most of these things, with the exception of the fall fair, the conference, and the lock-in, is all included in the membership of $20 to $25, which is a great opportunity. We also have, through Fairfax County Public Schools, their adult and community education, which offers classes. Again, these are basically from beginning to intermediate level classes. They offer a wide variety of things. And also Fairfax County Parks and Recreation offers classes. And again, a wide variety of information from beginning to intermediate level things. And other things that we don't necessarily have that I'm aware of in Fairfax County, but other places do. Community colleges offer courses. For example, prior guest Pat Stam, who's been with us a number of times, who's the NGS education manager, teaches in St. Louis, Missouri Community College, and they offer programs. Again, relatively inexpensive programs that you could take advantage of. Usually there are 3 or 4 weeks worth of courses to take advantage. So again, this would be something, if you're in an area where there's a community college, look it up and see what there might be for the community that you're in. One of the other things branching out is the national organizations that usually hold a conference. There's the International Association of Jewish Genealogical Societies that holds a conference every year. It's usually in the summertime, and this actually moves around the world. Upcoming conferences are going to be in Warsaw, Poland in 2018, and back here in the United States in Cleveland, Ohio in 2019. And then the National Genealogical Society holds a conference, and I know you and Mike have attended a number of those, as I have.
We have, and they are all over the country too. The one that's coming up is in Grand Rapids, Michigan this year. And the nice thing about the NGS conference is that there are many different tracks, so you can really focus on what you're most interested in, and that also always includes a track that is specific to the region that they're holding the conference. So there'll be some Michigan-related sort of Midwest kind of things there as well.
And just a thought going back to the International Association of Jewish Genealogical Societies conferences. They held one probably about 8 years ago in Philadelphia, and Sid and Arlene, who have been involved with the show from the beginning, encouraged me to put a paper in or some papers in, and I had 3 lectures accepted, and I thought, well, I'll probably go to some of the lectures, but I didn't know how much I would find. Well, it was a 5 or 6 day conference, and I could have gone from morning to night. There was just so much there. So even though the focus was on Jewish research, there was still so much about the area where the conference was that it was well worth going ahead and attending.
You know, Chuck, I have found that every session I've gone to, even if it wasn't something that I really thought I was interested in, but you know, I had a little time to spare, I've found something. Of importance in every session that I've gone to.
I've found the same thing, and this is one of the things that irritates me with some people that I know, that they say, well, I don't have anybody who is there in that location, or I don't know that my ancestors did that. Well, my thing is, go and learn, particularly if it's a location. You know, then you go find, okay, are those resources available? This happened with Sharon Hodges and I, again, a guest that we've had a number of times. Sharon and I both went and listened to a lecture on tax lists. And right away we said, oh, that's something we haven't explored. So we both went back to New Jersey to look to see what there was. And what we found out was there's not much surviving in New Jersey. Unlike the speaker was from Virginia here, and Virginia tax lists are numerous and plentiful. So the other big national organization is the Federation of Genealogical Societies that holds their conference usually in August or early September, and again it moves around the country, and they're going to be in Fort Wayne in 2018, and they're coming here to Arlington, Virginia in 2019, so we'll be looking forward to that. The focus of the organization is to help societies. So the first day is always lectures on helping a society, how to do things and things like that. The rest of the conference is all related, again, like you said, the area where the conference is or on general topics. So we have so much that we could pick from with these conferences.
And I went to the FGS conference this year, and it really helps associations try to bring more material to their members, to make it more relevant, to make it more current. Online access is something that's really important now, and there are various ways of trying to get to your members and get the relevant information. So this was a great discussion on how to do that.
Well, and one of the things that the conferences generally do, most of the lectures are taped. So if you can attend the conference, you can purchase the tapes from a commercial company. And I know that NGS live streams selected lectures, so you don't have to go to the conference. You can sign up to sit at your computer at home and sit in like you're right there at the conference. You can't ask questions, but you can sit right there and take advantage of those courses. So one of the other things that is available is online courses, and there are basically two major things that I'm aware of. One is the National Genealogical Society's home study courses, and they call them something different now, and the name escapes me. But these are courses where they're a correspondence type of course, where it's all now done on the computer. Not like when I took the course back in the 1990s, when we filled out the lessons and sent them in by U.S. mail and then got our materials back from the instructor. But they're online courses, and they have a variety of them. Some of them are very specific. They have some different military courses. They have one on source citations and other topics. And then they have some general 5-lesson courses that are grouped together to get people familiar with topics that they might not find. And then also there are online things such as the Family Search Help Center has lectures. That these are programs that have been presented. You can go to familysearch.org and you can go listen to a course that somebody or a lecture that somebody has done. And also they have their family wikis. Have you used the wikis very much?
Not very much, but I'm told that they are very valuable. And there are so many features of Family Search that you really need to dig into and do the tutorials, because there's a whole lot there besides just going in and putting in a name.
Yeah. With the wikis, the idea is Wikipedia, or like Wikipedia, and it is something that people can contribute. And I don't use them a whole lot either, but every once in a while I find something that I'm not finding what I'm looking for elsewhere, and I'll go look, and oh, sure enough, there's something about it. So it is great to take advantage of. And also Ancestry.com has courses that are available. And then there's also Boston University, and you have experience with that.
I did. I took that last year. I took the 15-week course. They offer 2 different ones. One is kind of a preliminary. It's around a 4-week, and it's a broader brush of the different topics. The 15-week program, though, is quite intense. If you really seriously want to learn how to research in a way that adheres to the proof standard, the industry proof standard, then the Boston University course is really valuable. And every week there's a different segment that you learn. And having just 1 week on documentation is not enough, but it certainly introduces you to it. And the instructors are some of the masters of genealogy today. So it's really a good course. Of
course. Some of the other things that I found when I was searching on Cindy's list is the National Institute of Genealogical Studies out of Canada, and they have, gosh, it's probably over 100 courses that you can take. So they're not necessarily long-term courses. They're a few long-term ones, but a lot of them are fairly quick that you can probably complete the course in a few weeks. And there's also Irish training, which again, the information's on our website, but this is a course on Irish research. And if I could ever get a connection back to Ireland for my great-grandmother, this is one that I would like to think about taking. And also, online things, there are study groups. ProGen is one of these, and ProGen is professional genealogy. It was a manual for those who are interested in doing genealogy professionally. And I think it was about 1998 that it first appeared, and it has been updated, edited by Elizabeth Schoen Mills, and she asked professionals in various categories. So there's one on writing, there's one on if you're doing client research, setting up. And so they set up a group to study, and they study a chapter, I believe it is, a week or every 2 weeks, and go through these. And it's a way of getting feedback from other people, having contact with people who are also interested in the research ideas that you're doing. Have you done in ProGen or any of these?
I have not done ProGen.
Okay,
but
I haven't either.
I understand that it's basically a small. They break them into small groups. So you if your assignment is to write a proof summary, then everyone gets to critique on that, and so you get feedback from your peers.
Yes, and there is somebody who mentors the group, and I think they're limited to like 12 or 15 people per group.
But it's a long. It's over a year. It's at least maybe 2 years.
Yeah, it's quite a commitment to do it. That's part of why I haven't done it. I don't know that I have the time. There's also a group that I wasn't aware of. It's the National Genealogical Society Quarterly Study Group, where they actually take the quarterly, which is a very scholarly journal, and they take the articles, they select articles, read the articles, and then discuss them. Really something that can be quite interesting. And Tom Jones recently, well, about 2 years ago, I guess, produced a book called Mastering the Genealogical Proof, and there's now a study group for that. Again, like ProGen, they go through the manual chapter by chapter. There are assignments that are at the end of each chapter, and so they do take advantage of, again, sending in the assignments and everybody critiquing them. And then I think the last topic is probably webinars. Have you had much experience with webinars?
Well, they are a very handy way to hear a lecture, and I find them to be interesting. Usually the visual is sometimes it's great and sometimes it isn't. But at least you do feel some connection by having a visual, and it is a way to get information that you wouldn't be able to just simply from a logistics standpoint.
The webinars are done, individual people do them, organizations do them, and so they're out there. Some of them are free, some of them are a small fee. One of the groups that does a number of them, particularly if you're interested in doing genealogy professionally, is the Board for Certification of Genealogists, and they do webinars, and they're on their website. Again, another opportunity. The Board for Certification of Genealogy is the certifying board of professional genealogists, but they have a great deal of information on their website that just is good for learning, even if you don't plan to seek certification. There are articles that have been written in their quarterly newsletter, other articles that people have done, examples of things, and so it's a great opportunity. And again, most of that is free, so all you have to do is go out to the website and take a look. So we're just about out of time. I think we've covered a great deal of information here today, and hopefully people will take advantage and may or may not be aware of all that's out there. But there's so much out there that lead people to think, well, all you have to do is go to a website and everything's going to be there, and that's not true. You really have to go out and learn.
Well, and I would really encourage you to take advantage of your local society, because you're going to meet people who are also interested in genealogy as well, and you just pick up stuff. And so that along with Cindy's list and some of the online sources would be the way to begin.
Yeah, we really do with Meeting Society. We make friends, and you find, oh, you've got other interests.
Well, and sometimes you might even find a cousin. Who knows?
Yes, I thought I had found some distant cousins. Turned out, no, they were from different areas. But I know a number of people who have found distant cousins that they never knew they were related to. In fact, with the Fairfax Society, there were two people that had known each other as part of the society for years, and lo and behold, they got into DNA, which is another subject, and found out they were distantly related.
Oh my goodness.
They were, I forget the relationship, but second or third cousins removed a couple of times. So
that's always exciting.
So I hope that what we have done today will help you to further endeavor your research. And we can just pretend that we're